So remember last time I was talking about episode 3 and how it just, it was just okay. It did a lot of things that I thought was really good, but it wasn't really exciting or really all that interesting for the most part. Well, episode 4 more than makes up for that. I mean, there's so many things that happened in this episode. The plot has certainly thickened. So we basically we basically pick up where we left off in episode 3. They're still playing this crown game, and when we last saw these characters, Anak had taken the crown, and it was up to Shibisu and Hats to basically protect her and keep her up there, because if she leaves the throne, then they're automatically disqualified. Now at this point, and if you haven't seen episode 3 already, don't watch this, because this is definitely going to have spoilers for episode 3. At the end of episode 3, Bam had seen a girl with blonde hair who looked a lot like Rachel. We don't know if it's Rachel yet. That has not been confirmed, but it's really heavily implied that it is her. Now, why she is with this other group and why she's being so secretive and mysterious, we've yet to find out. But Bam is trying to get her attention, and Kun has decided that he's going to stay out of the game for now, kind of let things go for a while. I'm assuming he's reading his opponents. I'm not really sure why he decided to wait, but he decides to wait. It's up to the character in the sleeping bag and his team to try to take Anak off her throne. Now, this is when things really get interesting, because not only do we find out, who the guy in the sleeping bag is. I mean, I always assumed that he was a really powerful character, but wow, is he a powerful character. Apparently, he's a Shinsu user, and Kun says that he's a wave controller. Apparently, before the game started, he, or Laro, I believe is how you pronounce his name, he spoke with his teammates saying, hey, look, we need to distract Anak's team so that I can take Anak down. And he already had this planned. We didn't know how he was going to do that. And so when they're in there, his other two teammates are fighting Hats and Shibisu, and then he gets up. I guess he was fake sleeping, I'm not sure. He gets up and he, creates this huge, it looks like water blast or something, and, tries to knock Anak off of her throne. But that doesn't work because Anak is like super powerful, and she's just becoming a much more interesting character the more we see of her. That doesn't work, and they have to try to find another way to get her off of her throne. I'm really happy that Laro and his team, but specifically him, I'm really happy that he really is like a really powerful character, and that they kind of held back on kind of showing us what his purpose was. He kind of reminds me of Kakashi from Naruto, just kind of like this really cool, chilled back character that is actually a beast when it comes to fighting. And so that was a really cool surprise. I was like, wow, he's not just a joke. I mean, I was always happy to see him. This dude is always sleeping, but he actually had a purpose. He actually has powers. He actually, has something to offer here. So that was really cool to see. Now, of course, after this happens, Anak shows, her true skill. And, we find out that the little whip that she has, or that she's been using, is actually one of the 13-month series, which are basically weapons that were forged for princesses of Jihad, which she claims in this episode that she is one. Now, we don't know if that's actually the truth, because after she says that, somebody from another team kind of looks at her and, calls her an imposter. And we don't know why that's being done. We don't know how many princesses there are. I didn't know that there was more than one princess other than Yuri. So her saying that she is one, we don't know if she's trying to be one, if that's like a goal of hers, or if she's or if she really is one, but she hasn't been accepted, maybe due to her looks or something else in her past. I'm sure that we'll get some kind of episode that goes into her backstory. But that was a really, really big revelation there. Just the simple fact that she has a weapon that belongs to a princess of Jihad, and that it can do some really crazy things. And the fact that she claims herself to be one. Now, we already know that Bam is wielding the Black March, which was given to him by Yuri, and of course that causes some conflict between Bam and Anak. Why Anak seems to be so upset that Bam is wielding this weapon, I'm not sure. Maybe because she feels like it's a sacred weapon and only certain people can use it, or maybe she feels like she had to work really hard to get her hands on what she has, and he shouldn't be able to wield the same thing. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that they're going to go into that. But the episode kind of ends with Bam and Anak kind of making a bet with each other about the crown game as far as those weapons go. Now, one of the really cool things in this episode, just, aside from the fight scenes and the big reveals, was just some of the smaller moments there, right? Rach, he's hilarious as always ready to get into a fight. When Bam's sword starts to go crazy, he's just like, oh, that thing wants to fight me. I'm like, oh my God, Rach, go sit down. Nobody wants to fight you, okay? And we also get a really, really cool scene from Kun near the end of the episode. He decides, hey, it's time to go out there and join this fight. And he apparently has a lot of secrets or tricks up his sleeve that I wasn't really expecting. There's a lot more to this character than I thought. And he basically just wipes the floor. I mean, he takes full command of the game, and it's like a game to him. And it's almost as if he's testing everyone else. So it'll be really interesting to see where that's going to go in episode 5. Another thing that's probably not nearly as important, but just really cool to me, was that when Shibisu was basically about to be, beaten to a bloody pulp, Hots came out of nowhere and saved him, which kind of hints that, he actually cares. Like, you guys are actually teammates. You guys, they're actually protecting you. See? So I thought that was really cool because he's really been getting like the least amount of love from his teammates. So it was cool to see Hots kind of jump in and save him when he was about to be hurt. The episode kind of ends on a weirdly dark note because while this, we're going to say, Rachel lookalike is over there, they're waiting to join the game, and it seems like they're about to join the game for episode 5. One of the other teammates asked her, like, hey, it's okay if we kill everyone, right? And she's like, yeah, while she's looking at Bam. So it's like, did she really just say it was okay for them to kill Bam, or is this something else? Again, we don't know if it's actually Rachel. And if it is Rachel, we don't know what kind of mindset she's in, why she's here, why she's doing this. So her kind of giving the green light on killing everybody, including Bam, it's just a bit weird. I'm sure that they will explain what's going on there, hopefully sooner rather than later. But, I mean, all in all, this was a fantastic episode. The animation was incredible. I mean, the fight scenes really just looked gorgeous. And it was really, really riveting, very entertaining. I didn't know what was going to happen next. It kept me on the edge of my seat throughout the duration of it. I actually really liked it. And the plot twists and certain reveals kept me really interested. I'm just hoping that it just continues on with this next episode and that it doesn't slow down at all, because, we're really picking up steam here. Let's keep it going. Definitely the best episode so far. Just pure entertainment value. It was able to give us a lot of information that we didn't have before, while also, keeping the momentum going. We learned a lot about Anak and her history. We learned a lot about some other characters who have kind of been in the game for a little minute now. We're getting a little bit more information about the story, learning about these weapons and who's supposed to wield them and who's not. So that was just a really, really cool addition. And so the pacing in this episode, I should say, was the best thing about it, okay? It was still very information heavy. I feel like the anime is really trying to get some of that exposition or some of that stuff that maybe would have already been explained in the webtoon. They're, trying to, litter it throughout the show, which is a really, really good way to tackle this, because you don't want to bore your viewers out of existence, right? So they did a really good job there. I I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I can't wait for episode 5. What did you guys think of this episode? Are you excited for episode 5? What did you think of some of the reveals here? What did you think about Anak saying that she was a princess of jihad? Do you think she's being honest about that? Or do you think there's more to her saying that? And what about that team member who was calling her an imposter? Do you think that, maybe she really isn't one and just wants to be? Or, is there something else going on there? What do you think of some of these fight scenes? I mean, Kun and Loro were definitely the MVPs. If you're not going to talk about Anak and her clearly wiping the floor with everyone. And what did you think about the ending with Rachel basically greenlighting Bam's death? I mean, that has to be like one of the more shocking moments in the episode, which I'm sure we're going to see more of. But I mean, first of all, do you think that it is Rachel? And do you think that she really means for Bam to die? Let me know in the comment section below. If you've read the webtoon, don't tell me anything because I don't want to know. I want to see all this for the first time here. I'm avoiding the webtoon for that very reason. But if you haven't read it, just let me know what some of your theories and thoughts are in the comment section. And if you have not done so already, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can get more content like this, which contains movie news, reviews, and reactions from your boy Derek right here at Anamanji. Don't forget to click that like button and do not forget to click that bell notification so that you will know when I post again. That's all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay dope.